Welcome to January's divorce month, but it doesn't have to be. I'm Linda Kroll, and I'm here not because it's January, but because I want to help you learn how to compassionately communicate about everything. And January is a new beginning. It comes after the holidays. And whether you're here for your own relationship or if you're someone who works with individuals or couples, I want to give you some tips in the next 20 minutes that you can use now. So let's take a breath and bring ourselves present. I'm so grateful that you're here. I know there's other places you can be. And whether you're live or listening on the replay, I want to make this beneficial to you so that you can start this new year with a skill set that's going to let you have a talk about anything with anyone at any time. So I'm Linda Kroll. I'm an IFS therapist, mediator, attorney, Chopra certified teacher of meditation, yoga, and Ayurveda. And for the last 35 years, I've counseled thousands of individuals and couples and trained hundreds of professionals around the world in my process of compassionate mediation and my way of teaching compassionate communication. And that's what we're going to start now. So again, what makes people wait to talk about things that are important to them? Why do people put off, whether it's waiting to get through the holidays or waiting to get through a birthday or waiting to get through something that's very important to them, thinking that if they have a talk with someone about what they truly want and need, it's going to escalate, it's going to be ignored, the only option they're going to have is to get divorced if that's the issue. Excuse me. And this isn't just about relationships or marriages that would end in divorce. What I'm going to share today is going to help you with any relationship you have, whether you have it with clients that are in front of you, whether it's with parents or children or coworkers or friends. There's always a time where we put off speaking our truth. We put off asking for what we want and need for a variety of reasons. And see if these are relevant to you at all. Sometimes we put off having these conversations because it's not easy to have the courage to speak your truth, number one. Number two, you may not even know what you want and need. You may be locked in cycles where you complain about what he said or she said or they did or didn't do, and all you do is look through the same negative filter. You put walls up around your heart so that you won't be hurt, and you spend a very long time trying to navigate a relationship that isn't authentic, doesn't fully cover everything that you truly believe and feel, and I'm going to tell you what to do about it. Okay, the first thing to do is get your own support. Get your own support, whether it's a therapist, a group, to find out what in your past has kept you from being your best self. And in internal family systems therapy, we talk about self, which is in all of us, as that place where we are calm, clear, compassionate. You know those moments? They're usually just moments. We're not always in self, but that's the key to having a conversation and improving relationships. So how do you get to self? Well, you look at the parts of you that you've been relating from. In other words, are you in a relationship now where your partner might do something and you immediately shut down because you're just tired of dealing with the issue? Or maybe you're still complaining, which comes off as nagging, and he or she decides they don't want to interact with you. So when you learn how to compassionately communicate, you learn how to connect to your best self. You learn how to let go of all those limiting beliefs and judgments that you took on since you were a child. You unburden pain from the past, and you relate from your heart. And throughout this presentation, for just 20 minutes, I want to give you tools that you can access now, where you can get some feedback and some ability to have a new beginning with people based on having the ability to get to self. And how do you get to self? Well, you get some therapy so that you can understand why you act and react the way you do, so you don't get into the fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode of stress and relationships. You can go for marriage counseling. You can join a group and learn how to compassionately communicate. And my next compassionate communication course is starting soon. So if you go to compassionatemediation.com/course, you can work with me live for 4 weeks and learn how to connect to your best self, learn how to let go of those limiting beliefs and judgments. And what do I mean by that? Well, we all grow up with parents that teach us a certain way where we think we have to be in the world. We have to be nice, we have to be pleasing, we have to be caretaking, hardworking. So while we're practicing showing up that way, we have feelings that we exile. We have feelings that we push aside because we don't want to talk about our hurt, sadness, fear. And so instead we try to manage. And a lot of us manage by being nice, pleasing, caretaking, hardworking. But we put on what I call a pseudo-self, where we look like we're in self, where we look like we're calm, clear, compassionate, but we're really feeling all those sad, hurt, scared feelings underneath. And instead of dealing with it honestly, what we do is we begin to have a conversation that isn't from our higher self. So we whine or we nag or we give an ultimatum or we shut down or we eat too much or drink too much. Some people might go have an affair as a way to numb their feelings. It doesn't have to be that way. So when I say that January is divorce month, but it doesn't have to be that way, here's what I mean. You can start now, today, to make changes in your relationship. You can take my relationship assessment. You can go to lindacroll.com/CCC and get my care kit. And my care kit has a relationship assessment where you can take a look at what's going on in your relationship now. How are you showing up? Are you relating from your best self? Are you calm? Are you clear? Are you compassionate? Are you courageous? Are you confident? If you're not, why not? What's going on? What are you still holding on to that may have been a wound from your past and may have been a wound from the current relationship? But you can unburden the pain you're carrying so that you can relate from your heart. So do your own work first. Learn how to connect to your best self, let go of those limiting beliefs and judgments about yourself too. Because a lot of times we don't forgive ourselves for decisions that we've made, or we've stayed too long, or we've taken too much. So letting go of your limiting beliefs about yourself, as well as the other party, unburdening the pain from the past with help either from a therapist, in a group, and relating from your heart. And when you start relating from your heart, you give compassion to yourself. You give compassion to all the parts of you that may have been stuck. And if you're working with individuals or couples, everything that I'm saying pertains to how you can help them. And I have a free roadmap for those of you who are professionals. You can go to lindacroll.com roadmap and get the roadmap of the process that I'm describing and find time for a brief chat with me, because I'm going to start my compassionate mediation training soon, my 7th cohort of my compassionate mediation coaching certification, and I'd love to introduce it to you in case it's something that you'd like to learn, because it makes you an expert in conflict resolution. It increases your impact and your outreach and your ability to go deep with your clients very quickly, because from the first session on, we get to self. So if you are in a relationship right now, and you're holding back on having a conversation because you're afraid if you bring things up, your partner is going to get mad, get scared, not care. You have to be willing to take the risk. And if you do your own work, then you're ready to invite your partner in for some counseling. And you can do that by getting a free chapter of my book at lindacrollbook.com, where we talk about what does it mean to be in self, what does it mean to have these conversations with empathy, with compassion, with courage. So these are just some of the ways that I want to be of help to you. And if you have questions or comments that you want to put in the chat, I'll be happy to answer those as well. So again, what's in the way of the talk? Sometimes it's doing your own work. Sometimes it's finding a safe place to do couples work, whether it's couple in your family with a partner. And a lot of times you don't have the support you need. In other words, you don't have the information that you need. And when I wrote Compassionate Mediation, I did it because I had spent many years married to my college sweetheart. We were married for 20 years. We had a beautiful family. And when it looked like our relationship was headed for separation or divorce, I knew there had to be a better way. And because I had been an attorney, trained to be a mediator, met Dick Schwartz and learned internal family systems, I put it all together in my book that created a new way of doing conversation about relationships. And with my gratitude to Dick Schwartz, what he has said is that my book is relationship healing at its best. Because when you talk about everything, you can talk about what it means to create a new relationship. So creating a new relationship, so when I say January is often divorce month, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, because when you have the courage to talk about everything, and the skill set, and the support, and the guidance, you can create a whole new relationship based on having the courage to talk about everything. So what is everything? Everything is your sex life. It's how you parent. It's money. It's responsibilities. It's how you get your needs met. It's everything that you could ever want to know to begin to feel that your needs are getting met in this relationship. And the needs we all have are for attention, affection, appreciation, and acceptance. I'll say that again. Attention, affection, appreciation, and acceptance. So what does that mean? It means that what's ever happening right now, you're not feeling appreciated. Maybe you're feeling taken for granted. You're not feeling attended to. You may be feeling ignored. You're not feeling accepted. Maybe you're feeling judged. And the affection, when all of that's going on, that goes out the window. So you're probably not feeling affection either. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can learn how to compassionately communicate, how to ask for and receive more of what you want and need, and how to get the support you need to do it. And if you're working with individuals and couples in conflict, which most people have in their life, if there's a relationship, there's going to be some conflict, and they come to you looking for support and guidance. And here is the problem with many therapists, marriage counselors, couples counselors, is that we don't have the skill set to talk about everything. We're taught how to help people get to their best self, how to communicate, but when the possibility of a separation or divorce comes up, a lot of therapists, coaches don't know what to do because we're not trained in that. It's almost like the bell goes off and we think we're out of our depth, and what we have to do is refer out. So it's almost like some people believe, oh, marriage counseling has failed because now the thought of a separation or divorce comes up and I don't have the skill set. Well, again, I'm hoping that you will get my roadmap and join me in the certification because I give you the templates to have these conversations. So when people learn how to compassionately communicate and they have the courage to talk about everything, talking about everything requires an informational skill set that you might not have. Because as therapists, we're not trained to be lawyers. As mediators, we're not trained to be therapists. Sometimes people coach others, but when divorce or separation comes up, they feel they're out of their league. I want to give you that information. And if you are an individual joining me now because you don't know what conversation to have, I want you to join me in learning how to have that conversation. Because I also have a compassionate mediation program, which is a 6-hour video series that allows you to get the benefit of my mediation, my law, my therapy, my spiritual counseling, so that you can make a decision, do I want to stay or go? And the way you make that decision is, number one, you get to your best self, everything I'm talking about. Do your own healing, meditate, journal, get therapy. And then you learn how to have a compassionate relationship, which you may not be having right now. You may be locked in patterns. He does, she does, reactions. And when you learn how to talk with empathy, Use I messages about your hurt and your sadness and your fear. Understand where your partner's coming from. And make amends so that you can create new beginnings, even if the new beginning is a separation or divorce. Once you've gotten to your best self, you can create a compassionate relationship. And if you separate or divorce, you can do it in a way that's kinder, gentler, more respectful, because that's what compassionate mediation is about. I do believe when you're ready to have the talk, it's a series of talks. And it's one talk at a time where you have the courage to begin to say, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I need. Can we talk about this? Can we find someone to help us explore our options? Because once you've gotten to your best self and created compassion so you can begin a dialogue, you need to learn what your options are. And if you're a professional, I teach you how to have these conversations so that you can offer your clients the options that they need and want to begin to make changes in their relationship. And unfortunately, many people are locked in black and white thinking. I either have to stay the way it is and not upset the apple cart, or I have to get divorced, I'm not ready, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to stay stuck. And that's why people put off conversations. That's why people stay in limbo. That's why people eat too much, drink too much, go have affairs, because they're not dealing honestly, authentically, from their highest self, with their significant people in their lives, so that you can talk about anything. But a lot of times, if you don't have the options, you're stuck in this black and white thinking. Stay, go, don't know, stay stuck. But when you either work with a client, you give them these options, or you work with me, either one-on-one or in my compassionate mediation program or my compassionate communication course, all of these give you a way to work with me so that I can guide you to your next best step. And when you're learning compassionate mediation coaching certification, and I give you the manuals, the handouts, the transcripts, the meditations, the cheat sheets, all that you need, I also give you a way of working with people so they learn their options. And sometimes options can be as easy as a date night, or more therapy, or sex training, tantra education, where they learn how to be more tactile and be more in touch with their soul and connect that way. Sometimes people can create a post-nuptial agreement where a lot of the issues that they haven't discussed can be decided so that it puts it to rest. People can get separated with no legal need. People can have a legal separation, and people can get divorced. But there's ways to do it that are kinder, gentler, more respectful, self-led. And you do that with compassionate communication and compassionate mediation. So just to recap for just a moment what some of your options are. If you go to compassionatemediation.com intro and you're a professional, you'll learn more about the Compassionate Mediation Coaching Certification that's coming up. If you're an individual for whom this resonates and you say, oh yes, I could use this support, well, in just a couple weeks, I'm starting my next cohort of the Compassionate Communication course, which is a 4-week live session with me in a small group process where we go over how do you connect to your best self? How do you let go of those limiting beliefs and judgments? How do you unburden the pain from the past, relate from your heart, and talk to everyone about anything, including how you talk to yourself? How can you talk to yourself with more compassion, more understanding, more love, more forgiveness? So I always say that love is the answer, but it starts with loving yourself. And you can do that in the Compassionate Mediation course, whether you're professional or you're here for your own work. Another way to join me is to get the Linda Kroll, go to lindakroll.com roadmap and get the roadmap of the compassionate mediation process. And then you can join me for a 15-minute chat to see how I might help you from wherever you are now to wherever you'd like to be, personally or professionally. And you can get it by going there. And if you'd like to get a copy of my book, go to lindakrollbook.com and you get a free chapter of the book, which covers a lot about what we're talking about and gives you an overview of how to begin to have a better relationship with the people in your life. So I'm going to see if there's any questions, and I have more to share with you, because I want to share with you how we can really understand our. I also threw up the Substack because I'd like you to join me on Substack. LindaKroll.substack.com gives you the opportunity to see me and all the writing that I do, because I'm a 78-year-old professional who's also a 6-time cancer survivor. I lost my younger daughter to a battle with addiction, and everything I've ever written is going on my Substack to help you get in touch with your heart. It's called Heart-Centered Connections. It's on Substack, and it's lindakroll.substack.com. So I want to show you my dolls. Okay, you ready? And here, this may make some more sense. We all have an inner child, right? And when we are, oops, that's not my inner child. Here's my inner child. We all have an inner child. Whoops, there we go. Let's start again. Okay, we all have an inner child. And usually what happens is we lose track of what's going on, and we figure out how to manage. And guys often manage by trying to look cool. And girls, and it can go either way, pardon the gender, girls often put on what I call a codependent part, which takes care of everybody else. And when I bought her, she looked that exhausted. I used to be able to push her stomach, and she would actually say, I love you, but she doesn't do that anymore because she's too tired. And when they don't get their needs met, they come out fighting. And this may be where you are now in your relationship, that you just fight with each other. And this is how people come to my office, where they come in, they're complaining about their partner, they haven't talked about anything, they're finally ready to do something. They think the only thing they can do is get divorced. They don't want to do that, but they're looking to you for guidance. Here's what we do. In the first session, in 45 minutes, I help people recognize that they have these parts, all of which are protective. We thank the parts for trying to do the job to protect us. We realize we don't have to take care of everybody else. We don't have to be cool. And we can learn how to speak for our fear, our hurt, our sadness, so that our partners can listen and understand and have empathy for what we're feeling in a way that gives them a chance to meet your needs. And the 5 steps to getting your needs met are to know what they are, which many codependents and people have forgotten because we're so busy meeting everybody else's expectations. Know what they are. Know you deserve them, which is where that individual counseling comes in, because if you're locked in old beliefs and you've got old wounds, you may not know all that you deserve, all that affection, appreciation, attention, and acceptance you deserve. So know what they are, know you deserve them, learn how to ask. And when you know what they are and you know you deserve them, the ask becomes a request. It's not a whine, it's not a nag, it's not an ultimatum. It becomes a simple communication that says, this is who I am, this is what I want to need, I'm asking for it. And then 4th step, be willing to receive it. Because a lot of times it's easier to give, we give instead of receive. Be willing to receive it and be grateful. And those are 5 steps you can use now to get more of what you want to need. So instead of thinking about what's wrong in my relationship, think about what you want in your relationship. Begin to set your GPS for where you're going, not where you've been, not where you're stuck. Quit projecting the past into the future. Quit ruminating over what's already happened. And put a spiritual graft on those wounds where you have gratitude for where you are. G-R-A, radically accept that this is what is, but you can do better. F, forgive yourself, everyone else, and trust that you're on the right path, and that even being here today has given you some insight into some tools that you can have moving forward. So I'm going to take a breath because I'm very grateful that you've hung in here. I said it would be 20, it's 25. So if you want to reach me, go to Linda Kroll, go to compassionatemediation.com, contact, and you can contact me. And you can also find a lot of information on the site that will give you the ability to work with me, to get all these gifts. And once again, if you're looking at the certification, go to compassionatemediation.com intro. If you're looking to take the course with me, which starts in a couple weeks, go learn more there. Get the roadmap if you're a professional. Sign up for a chat with me. Everyone get the book chapter. It's free. You get some insights into what I'm talking about. And then go to lindakroll.com/CCC and you'll get my care kit. Because in my care kit, it gives you the ability to have the relationship assessment, which gives you a chance to look at your relationship. It gives you the guided meditation that I do with everyone who comes into my office. And it gives you a chance to stay connected with me so that I can offer my support. So whether you're here for your own benefit, whether you're here as a professional, thank you. For 35 years, it's been my life's work to help people become more compassionate with themselves and each other. In the first 45 minutes, I offer you, if you're a therapist, coach, mediator, I offer you the template for doing it, to learn what does it mean to be in self? How do you heal your parts? How do you come from your highest and best self and relate from your heart? And then you can talk to anyone about anything at any time because you've learned how to be your best self, create a compassionate relationship. You've explored all your options, which include understanding your rights and finances, which is a big part of both the Compassionate Mediation Program for individuals and the Compassionate Mediation Coaching Certification. You learn all about your rights and finances. Because I'm an attorney, one of the modules is like speaking to an attorney for an hour. It gives you everything you need to know, but it also gives it all in outline form. So you don't have to be left in the dust as to what's to do next. I'm here to support you. And again, there are many people that look like this. And maybe this is why you can't have the conversation, because somebody in your life just looks like they're going to rage at you or react in a way that's going to scare you or remind you of someone in your life. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to recognize that underneath this part of that person is a teddy bear who's also hurt, who's also sad, who's also scared. And when you learn how to compassionately communicate, you don't have to worry that if you have a conversation, you're going to be a bag lady. Don't you love these dolls? You don't have to keep putting your head in the sand because you're afraid to do anything about it. And I'm looking for my guy. And you don't have to feel you're going to lose your pants just by talking about what your options are. So I hope you've enjoyed our time, and I hope this motivates you to reach out to me in some way, because even if we talk for 15 minutes, if you get on my schedule, we'll make a new friend. No pressure, no sales call, just a chance to find out where you are personally, professionally, and how I can help you. So if you want, go get the roadmap, find time for a chat with me. And for those of you who want to join me in my next Compassionate Communication course, it is a small group. You work with me privately. It starts in a few weeks, so please check it out. So again, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to connect with you personally in the very near future. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye for now.